Coach, over the two legs, would you say you got it wrong tactically?
It was a tactical masterclass. Unfortunately, it was by Pochettino and the Americans. Jamaica picked up a massive defeat in St. Louis, and honestly, we were lucky that it was not worse than that. The Americans absolutely outplayed us, outclassed us, and sadly, especially in the first half, they outfought us. I'm going to go straight into it. I don't think this video is going to be long, because honestly, it's not much tactically there to break down and analyze. We simply just got outplayed. Into the lineup, not much real complaints I had per se. It went back to a back four like most people wanted. We line up in a 4-2-3-1 with McGee giving his big chance in that number 10 position. Hayden and Latibar there played for the start for the first time in midfield. Bernard come into the team to replace their suspended Holgate, and the big change was Tavon Gray coming in for Dexter Lemberkista. But the real focus should really be on the Americans lineup. They also, on paper, line up in a 4-2-3-1. But when the game kicked off, you saw the big tactical switch that Pochettino came with into this game that threw all of us out for a flip. Robinson is renowned as one of the better attacking fullbacks in the English Premier League, mainly because the way he gets up and down on that left wing and able to swing balls from the wide. Yet the former Tottenham PSG manager this time decided to play him as an inverted left back that comes into the midfield, that frees up McKennie now to now push forward to now play as a number 10 under Pepe, and then you'll be no wondering where does the actual number 10 goes. Well, Pulisic was given a free roam, especially to attack from the left hand side to start majority of the Americans' attack. What that means is that poor old Tavon Gray had to contend with the likes of Weah, Pulisic, and an inverted Robinson for the majority of that half. And honestly, he was just not up for the task. He was all at sea and had a torrid first half. And it was obvious from the first 10 minutes, him and Jamaica were in for a long night. When we had all the men behind the ball and trying their best to hold a mid-block, somehow we were surviving, but to be honest, the Americans were definitely dragging out of the position and rotating that front three, and we had severe difficulties picking up Pulisic and Robinson movement in midfield. I was a bit shocked that the Jamaicans and Steve McLaren never exactly reacted fast enough with their own tactical moves, and while he could say that when in a mid-block we did not give up a goal, yes, this is true, but on the transitions, we were caught napping. In fact, that's how we can really say we lost that first half and the game overall. We were just simply trounced on transition, because when they get the ball going at our attack, we could not defend. While we get the ball and go at their attack, we were just so slow and unsure with what to do going forward that the Americans easily got players to retreat and back in defense and get the ball off us. Especially you can look at the first goal again. Yes, we lost it when we were attacking, but I felt that we have enough men back there to deal with the pressure a bit better. One thing I must highlight though, in modern football nowadays, you normally see when you're attacking with one fullback, the fullback on the opposite side will normally tuck in and make sure he's not left wanted up the pitch to just in case there's a turnover. Yet on the first goal, Tavon Gray was so high up that we left Bernard and Lowe all at sea. What was even more jarring is that I'm quite sure McLaren played the likes of Hayden and Latibar there, two defensive midfielders in that position, to give us that extra cover when there's a breakdown in the attack and the opponents are under counter. But honestly, Hayden especially was invisible for most of that first half. His partner Latibar there didn't exactly do all that well on the defensive side either, and funny enough, he was much better with his forward passes this time out compared to the defensive side of the game, just to show you the type of luck we're having. And speaking of luck, Leon Bailey himself, 2 times he had chances to really get something positive for us going forward, and 2 times he slipped up at the worst time. The second time especially was in the box, and he cost us effectively the first goal on the transition by the Americans. Overall, Bailey, I see the effort he was trying to make going forward. One, he didn't help Gray that much on the right hand side, and two, when he was going forward, he was a bit too predictable to cut in on that left foot, and a lot of his decision making in the final third just simply didn't pay off. Definitely one of the poor games he have had in the Jamaica shirt. It was no surprise that the Americans raced ahead with their 3-love lead. And honestly, I was almost turning off the TV at halftime because I thought it's going to end up being a 6 or 7. But I guess a little bit of positivity and a little bit of credit to the McLaren and the Jamaican boys is that McLaren brought in King for McGee, who we now know against elite opposition that he just cannot handle that number 10 position, and switch at 3-4-3. And I know he mentioned it a bit in his post-match conference that we did play a little bit better in the second half, but you could clearly see it was more of us just being a lot more aggressive, a lot more hunger to get the ball and try to press the Americans than the tactical switch of formation. It did help because we have Richard King who got the free roam to leave his left centre back position sometimes to go in midfield to engage the likes of Pulisic much earlier, which also allowed that Hayden and Latibeaudiere can take turns to press much higher up the field and press the American back line. It did cause some trouble to the Americans, and eventually it all led to us even carving up some chances and then eventually the goal for Gray. But honestly, it never lasts long. I felt that the Americans eventually adjusted well enough, and of course, you saw how they got their fourth goal. But hey, we got the second goal, we kept the game respectable, and Demarai Gray got a brace, which we hope means that we can see the best of him when he comes back in March. Another positive was the player Richard King. No, he's not exactly the answer there at the back line, but you do see that he definitely has some talent, and some of the plays he made, especially one out of this world pass to Shamar Nicholson who did not finish it off, at least he got a chance to show what he can do. But honestly, that is all in terms of positives. Well, I guess one more. This wasn't a World Cup qualifier. This was just Nations League, so we can take what L and learn from it, hopefully, and put it towards the World Cup qualifiers, which is much more important. But honestly, that was it. We were simply outplayed, and a lot of it can come down to the players I felt were the similar at the levels of the Americans. The type of football the Americans were playing in the first half, we simply just could not match it. We have to recruit very well and very soon by the time we possibly face them again in the Gold Cup next year. And this match also highlights somewhat that how much it was a missed opportunity for not take the game to the Americans when we had them in Kingston. But maybe if we won out there, it'll be a whole different scenario in the return leg last night. But honestly, that's all I got from this review show of the Reggae Boyz match against the United States. It's very simple. We were out-coached and outgunned, and we just have to just take the L and try again next time we match. So guys, again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share as we look to keep you up to date on all things Reggae Boyz, all the way through our World Cup qualifiers and hopefully to the World Cup in 2026. So YouTube, big up yourself.
You know, you can't win football matches unless you're aggressive. We were passive in the first half. You have to defend properly. We didn't do that. And we didn't deal with the ball. So that's not tactics. That is football. Second half.